teachers recognize in their own field that they need to do many different kinds of teaching. What they don't recognize is that there is a facility ramification of that. You know, they still feel comfortable in their classroom, so there is a disconnect, if you will, between what they believe deeply about the fact that we need a variety of spaces to encourage kids and engage them.
One of the ideas we had in the United Kingdom was we employed what's known as leading maths teachers for primary schools. And what the job of the leading maths teacher was, who was an exceptionally good teacher, was to go into schools, observe teachers teach maths, and then talk to them about it, and then teach maths classes themselves, which the teachers in the school could observe them teach.
What's happened is that the technology has really changed everything, and there's been pretty much a singularity, so that the kids have new tools, they think a new way, and the teachers are used to doing things as if they were just grown-up students, and that's not working.
These three people from diverse backgrounds are providing international leadership on major directions for education in the 21st century. Now working with educators in Broadmeadows, bold plans to transform public education are being put in place. Internationally renowned architect Prakash Nair, the president of Fielding Nair International, is skillfully guiding the community in its exploration of the real educational needs of young people in this new knowledge-based era. Prakash, who won the prestigious McConnell International Award for School Design in 2004, has worked across 4 continents and is now working with the proud Broadmeadows community to develop a set of 21st century showpiece schools.
There are several criteria that apply more deeply than the kinds of things that teachers might think about. For example, as we talked about, this whole idea of a school's entrance needs to be welcoming, and needs to be welcoming because it sends a message about what we as a community think about our school. And it also needs to be welcoming because that engages parents to come in and participate more actively and become more involved in the life of their students. So that's one kind of thing. And then what we do is we define what a welcoming entry is. We establish the kinds of things that need to be there, for example, display of student work, an area where parents can get a cup of coffee perhaps. Those kinds of things that might get overlooked in the traditional planning process. Then we have things like transparency. That is the idea of being able to see in and out of places that you are in, so you don't have a sense of being trapped. And most modern offices have a lot of glass, and there's a reason for that, because people are more likely to be productive when you can look outside of where you are and you can get a bit of a relief, visual and emotional relief from what you are in. So the not being trapped is a big part of design.
Baroness Estelle Morris, a proud and passionate advocate for public education, was warmly welcomed in Broadmeadows. After a distinguished 20-year career as a teacher, this humble and determined woman launched a political career that saw her become the Secretary of State for Education and Skills in the Blair government. More recently, Estelle was appointed President of the National Children's Bureau in the United Kingdom.
Schools very often compete with each other. They compete with each other for children, and they're not very good at sharing ideas. I think, and I believe and I hope, that we're moving to a period now where schools understand that they're stronger as individual schools if they actually share their good practice as well as share their challenges. So it seems to me here in Broadmeadows that at a time when there's plans to reorganise schools and merge some and put them on the same campus, it's an excellent opportunity to change the nature of teaching and learning as well, so that teachers can observe each other teach, can do research together, can really share some of the problems and the challenges that there are.
Mark Prensky, who coined the term digital native, argues convincingly that our schools and systems were designed for students who no longer exist. Mark's views have been published in the New York Times and Wall Street Journal and aired on CNN and the BBC. He has developed video games that teach, and his latest book is aptly titled, "Don't Bother Me, Mum, I'm Learning."
I think that we can't let kids go off on their own. We are their teachers, we are their elders, we have things that we want them to learn, but we have to understand that they have things to teach us, and that putting both of those things together is really powerful, and it leads not just to doing a minimal amount of things, but typically it leads to a flowering of things. Kids get into drawing, and they get into art, and they get into writing, and they get into stories, and that's what's happening from the games, and then everybody is really excited. The people who do this right and the people who listen to most of my talks come out energized, because they say there is a way to do this. There is an approach that means we don't have to spend our life catching up.
What Prakash, Estelle and Mark have brought to Melbourne's northern region is a fresh, broad and challenging view, and a confidence that public education will be revitalised.
Professional development for teachers is just as important as it is for medicine or for any other profession. I think one of the things I'm interested in is innovative ways in which teachers can do professional development. And one of the things particularly I'm an enthusiast for is getting teachers together to learn from each other and to enable them to watch each other teaching.
Don't try to keep up. It's not that you don't have to know about the technology, you just don't have to use it yourself, unless you want to. If you do, then more power to you, you should go ahead. But the partnership with the kids, if we do it right, will be very powerful, where the teachers bring what they have as adults, which is understanding and helping and solving problems, and the kids make it work technologically.
Now it's easy to go into a school and take photographs and see what is your experience as you walk into the community or drive into the community. In the particular case that we were at, for example, we saw a big barbed wire fence, which is not necessarily the best thing to see when you first see a school. It's your first experience with a school is a barbed wire fence. And the second experience is a parking lot. And what we're saying is, perhaps there could be better experiences to make you feel welcome into that. And as you then come in and as you make your way, wind your way to the entrance, the question is how easy it is to find your way from the, say, parking lot to the entrance. And when you come in, do you feel there's a sense of drama there? Do you see student work displayed so that you immediately realize that this is a school and it's not some corporate office?
Multicultural schools, I think, offer a learning dimension to all their children that others can't do, that others don't do.
What's really interesting is that the kids know how to engage themselves now. They are excited by the technology, they're excited by the things that they do. They get to invent a whole new life for themselves, and that's really fun and something that you want to do all the time. And that's the problem with school, is that they have to, as the kid said, power down when they go there.
When a student is bored sitting in a classroom, you don't have the best environment for learning. And we also know that the kinds of learning that are going to be valued in the 21st century, and are valued already today, are critical thinking skills, are social skills, are the ability to improvise, are the ability to solve problems. And a lot of this stuff doesn't happen in classrooms.
The work of Prakash Nair, Estelle Morris and Mark Prensky is supporting the outstanding efforts of educators in the North to bring about sustained, systematic and significant change that will improve the outcomes and life chances of all students, no matter where they live or what their background.